As you guys have probably noticed by now, Ireland is on fire. The world is on fire. I'm on fire. It was 30 degrees today, and this heat wave is going to last at least a couple more weeks. There are wildfires, or there were wildfires in Ireland. There are current ones in France, Spain, Greece, Korea, Canada, you name it. Uh, it's barely rained these last few weeks here. Rivers across Europe are drying up, the Danube even. Um, and a majority of Ireland's rivers are also at record lows. Ireland has already implemented a ban on hoses, so you're not allowed to use your back garden hose for watering your plants. And I was actually in the Aran Islands a few weeks ago, and they cut off their water from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's a rare for the country right now. I think it's only more in like rural areas, but yeah, we're not at like critically low levels yet for the water supply, but we're getting there. I have an Irish Times article here for you now, just to give you a sense of the situation. Baked, cracked mud seen at Dublin Reservoir as depleted water levels closely monitored. Reservoir levels are being closely monitored as the drought continues, but Ishki said they were not at a critical point yet. Photographs taken on Tuesday show the impact the lack of rain has had on Boharana Brina Reservoir in the Dublin Mountains, which serves 35,000 people. It stores water in two lakes, and the upper lake is badly depleted with water levels several meters below where they would normally be, surrounded by large banks of baked, cracked mud. Ishgaren said levels in the lower lake were holding up better and there were no immediate fears of disruption to supply in the area. Sufficient quantities of water are in other reservoirs in the overall Greater Dublin area, a spokesman said. However, the outlook for the next 2 weeks is for the dry spell to continue in many parts of the country. Data from the Environmental Protection Agency published on Tuesday shows water flows in monitored rivers, lakes, and groundwater sources all fell in July. Some rivers, such as the Slaney in Co Wexford, had just 29% their normal flow for the time of year. The drop in water level is remarkable given that the Slaney ran so high and fast at the start of the year that it caused some of Co Wexford's worst ever flooding. The Dodder, Tolka, Munster Blackwater, Nor, Ilen, Fergus, and Mulkeer rivers are also among the larger rivers with less than half their normal flows. In all, 60% of the 132 monitored rivers have below normal or particularly low flows. Lakes, turlock, springs, and groundwater sources have coped better, but between 36% and 42% of them are below normal. Ishgaren draws most of the water it needs for drinking water supplies from rivers and lakes. Farmers groups have said that prolonged dry conditions are causing a huge strain on vegetable growers, and some may not be able to stay in business to plant next year. Crop losses are running at 60% where they have not been irrigated and 20% where they are irrigated. But with irrigation costs running at €100 per acre each time a field is doused with water, Niall McCormick of the Irish Farmers Association Vegetable Committee said growers were producing at a loss. The situation is causing a perfect storm for increased cost and diminished returns. Chair of the IFA Potato Committee, Jason O'Leary, said the viability of potato growers was under threat. If yields are reduced by up to 40%, which is the case in some regions, the economics simply do not stack up. Growers cannot continue producing a crop at a loss, and there is a real risk that some will not be in a position to plant potatoes next year. So, what can we really do about this? Well, we can't solve climate change ourselves. So it's more about preparing for the future because the future is going to be worse than the present. I mean, this next year is going to be worse than this year, and the year after that is going to be worse than next year. We need to, I guess, diversify our water supplies away from just rivers. One way we could do that is with desalination plants, which turn seawater into drinkable water. It costs a lot of money to set up, and it costs a lot of energy as well. But so it's not very efficient, but it's probably worthwhile building some. I had a quick look online. I don't think we have any. There are a few on the Channel Islands and in the UK, I believe. But that's something we could definitely look into. But for the most part, there's not much we can do. I mean, we're a small country. We can't solve the source of the problem, which is global warming caused by emissions. I mean, we could work to reduce our own footprint, but the truth is that'll only really work if all 200 countries in the world are working together. And I don't know about you, but the world doesn't seem to be working together very well right now. There definitely needs to be more support for farmers in this. I mean, they're the ones that are going to get squeezed probably the most, at least in the short term. Our vegetable growers are especially. Now, we actually import 80% of our fruit and veg from the rest of Europe. We don't actually domestically produce them, but we do produce the majority of our potatoes and some other fruits like strawberries, I think, down south near Wexford. So the solution there, I guess, would be to build better irrigation systems with like government funding, but even then they're going to be squeezed to God. And our imports are also going to become more expensive too, because European countries are going to have the same problems. Like their farmers are going to have the same problems our ones are having when it comes to a lack of water and lower yields, and that's going to push up prices for food everywhere. So unfortunately, you can probably expect food prices to increase in Ireland. I guess globally, really. Um, it's very hard to put a positive spin on this. I mean, the situation's pretty bad. It's pretty bleak for the future. Right now, it's not like it could be a lot worse. We're not at a stage where we should be panicking yet, but we should prepare so that we don't panic in the future.